Good morning, ECE2. It is Tuesday, April 7th, 2020. Today we're going to be picking up where we left off yesterday, slide 17. So if you'd please pause this for a moment and open up the PowerPoint to get that slide. All right, so we're starting off the slide today with a writing prompt. And the prompt says, think about your favorite book as a child. Why do you think it was your favorite? What do you remember most about it? And looking back at it now, is it a good children's book and why? I want to share my children's book from when I was a child. This ancient thing is actually not the copy I had as a child. I do still have that copy. It's in a box somewhere, but it doesn't have the cover on it anymore. And I purchased this one for Emma when she was a baby so that she would have her own copy. And this is honestly the one book I remember owning as a child. And it's called Young Years, Best Love Stories and Poems for Little Children. And I remember learning how to read from this book. I remember nursery rhymes and poems. There's actually pages that teach your ABCs, and I remember learning my ABCs from this book. So I think that this is an extraordinary piece of literature. It's got nursery rhymes, it's got fairy tales, Little Red Riding Hood, Three Little Pigs. It's got fables, The Fox and the Goat, The Dog and the Shadow, Fox and the Crow, children's Rapunzel, the original Rapunzel story, poems in the back, poetry in the back. So I think that I'm actually going to read the first nursery rhyme. It's called Old Mother Hubbard. And I want you to think about, when I'm reading it, think about what is different about this story. Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to get her poor dog a bone. But when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. She went to the baker's to buy him some bread, but when she came back, the poor dog was dead. She went to the joiner's to buy him a coffin, but when she came back, the poor dog was laughing. She went to the fishmonger's to buy him some fish, but when she came back, he was licking the dish. She went to the alehouse to get him some beer, but when she came back, the dog sat in a chair. She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, but when she came back, he was smoking his pipe. She went to the barber's to buy him a wig, but when she came back, he was dancing a jig. She went to the tavern for white wine and red, but when she came back, the dog stood on his head. She went to the hatter's to buy him a hat, but when she came back, he was feeding the cat. She went to the tailor's to buy him a coat, but when she came back, he was riding a goat. She went to the fruiter's to buy him some fruit, but when she came back, he was playing the flute. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes, but when she came back, he was reading the news. She went to the seamstress to buy him some linen, but when she came back, the dog was spinning. She went to the hosier's to buy him some hose, but when she came back, he was dressed in his clothes. The dame made a curtsy, the dog made a bow. The dame said, "Your servant." The dog said, "Bow wow." So the one thing that sticks out to me about this nursery rhyme is the vocabulary that is introduced, and that's something that I talk a lot about in class, and that's introducing new vocabulary to young children. So you've got probably a new vocab word in almost every single stanza here. You've got a tailor. What is a tailor? Somebody who makes clothes. You've got a cobbler. What is a cobbler? Somebody who makes shoes. You have a hosier. What's somebody who makes hose, like pantyhose. So it's very interesting, and I haven't ever seen this in a book of its own, but I think it'd be very interesting to see if it's been modernized at all. I might actually look it up. So my favorite children's book, my one that I truly remember from being a kid and learning from. So I'd like for you to answer that prompt, please, in your notes. I'd like to read those and see what you guys come up with. All right. Going on to slide 18, we're looking at materials for writing. Place for Writing offers children opportunities to write for various purposes, includes table chairs and a shelf for storing writing materials. Some writing tools to include are the chubby pencils and regular pencils, magic markers, and chalk or chalkboards. Some printing tools to include are letter and other stencils, include printer paper, magazines, index cards, and envelopes and stationery, and other tools and materials to include hole punchers, staplers, paste or glue stick, wallpaper samples to use as book covers, scissors, crayons, clipboards, stamp and ink pads, construction paper, pencil sharpener, paper clips, and more. So anything that you can think of that you might want to include in that writing center to make writing fun for kids. Now, displaying and caring for materials. Ask children to help care for library books. Books should be checked routinely and mended with the children's help. I actually found earlier, I was looking at another book, and I discovered, well, yeah, when I was yesterday when I was reading this to you guys, I discovered that the pages are falling out. So you could put this in like a little book hospital and have the kids help you fix the book. Since all the pages are here, they're just falling out. None of them are ripped, and help them mend the book so that they can take part in kind of preserving that and saving that for other kids to enjoy. Preschoolers can learn to tape torn pages and erase pencil marks. Keep a book repair kit in the library area. And then I'd like for you just to list some things that you might include in a book repair kit. Okay, and we're actually going to stop there. We will move on to literacy tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great day, have a nice night, and I will see you soon. Bye.